In the building.
We do.
Indeed.
Can we get a round of applause for Mr. Eddie Connor, who is our next guest? Is he gonna come up?
Yes, sir. How you doing, sir?
Hi.
Well, that's screaming for you,
How are you?
All right, now.
Now, actually, I just really want to say, I don't know if you want us to say all this, but I got some news during the break that wasn't so good.
Sometimes you get the bad news before the good.
Sometimes you get the bad news for the good. And that was actually, you were in an accident, car accident? Okay.
Everything is okay.
Everything is okay, that's the good news. And he made it to the show, despite the car accident. So, we thank you for that. We really do. And I'm glad that you're okay.
Absolutely. It's of course good to be here. Good news banter. Come on, y'all just give it up for Jay and Jazmine. Come on, they're doing a great job. Here repping Detroit. Doing it big in the city.
We're trying. We are trying. So you got some good news that you're bringing. Well, actually, you're just like a happy, positive person altogether. So you're bringing your energy here to the show. And what have you got to share with us today?
Oh, absolutely. You know, as I said, sometimes the bad news takes place before the good news. And, you know, you can just be traveling the road of life. Sometimes you just have to say, boy, when things happen, how do I respond to life's interruptions?
Right.
And a big interruption that took place just took
was the car accident.
Right. But we've all had our interruptions, we've all had our accidents in life. But how do we persevere amidst the situation? How do we keep going in spite of it and having that mindset, to that hustle mindset? Oftentimes that's misconstrued with selling something, but really hustling is about living something. And so,
hold on one second. Did you guys hear that? Say that just one more time.
Hustling is about what?
Hustling is not so much about selling something. Hustling is about living something.
Living something.
That's what that's about.
Write that down. That's my
That sounds like that should have been in a Jay-Z song or something, you know?
Write that down.
That's right. And so, the fact of the matter is, how do we respond to life's interruptions? I had a serious interruption. Not just what took place recently, but even 13 years ago when I was diagnosed with cancer.
Okay.
And that's worse than a car accident.
It is.
That's something that can just total your whole life. And to be diagnosed at the age of 15, to be young, to be male, to be black, to just be going through struggle at such a young age, where people can see it, where it's evident, where you're ostracized and set aside from your own peer group. How do you respond to those life situations? Are you going to say, I'm going to be a victim all my life? Or are you going to look at the situation and say, I'm going to be victorious despite it? Not just going to go through the situation, but I'm going to grow through the situation.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And so you have to look at that situation, going through the chemotherapy, going through radiation, going through loss of hair, going through the physical side. Even my own biological father never visited me in the hospital. Going through being raised in a single-parent divorced family and having to deal with an identity crisis and say, you know, in the midst of the situation, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to stand up and live up to my gifts and my talents.
How old were you when you were first diagnosed?
15 years old.
So how did you, with all that adversity that you just vividly laid out for us, how did you garner the strength to get through to the next step of what you had to do to
I would have lost my mind. Absolutely. You know, my faith in God really never would have made it. Caused me to I would have lost my mind. Of course, my faith in God brought perseverance, caused me to persevere and compel myself to overcome that situation. But also faith in myself, saying I can in spite of the situation. It's interesting. It's interesting that the word cancer, first three letters of cancer spells Cain. And that's the type of mindset that you had to have, you know, sometimes just in spite of the situation that's going on. You know, sometimes just in life, you know, I'm coming in here with a little suit on, sometimes we just dressed up and messed up. We putting on the dressed up and messed up. We putting on the spot. The ladies got their hair, nails done, hair done, everything. They masked the whole situation. But they still messed up on the inside. You just masked the whole situation, but you still cry. Or you masked the whole situation based on what you have on the outside, flaws, but you still cry. I'm here for a reason. As long as I have life in my body, I can. And not just I can, I will overcome. And that's where that hustler mindset that I was talking about comes into play. You got to keep going in spite of the situation that you face.
So you are, in addition to a lot of things, you are an author as well.
Yes.
You got a book for us.
I brought 3 for you.
3? Okay, because you done brought 3 books too.
Can y'all get copy that for Detroit?
A 3-time author. And I don't know the exact order. How does it go order-wise?
You start with the blue book first. That's purposefully prepared.
Purposely prepared.
To persevere.
To persevere.
And that's just my story, just in general, of going through cancer.
Okay.
And I'm talking about my story. I'm talking about situation that I went through. And I'm just giving people power to persevere. I'm talking about relationships, talking about how you get your money right, how you get your finances right, how you get your business right, how you can exercise your gift. I'm trying to hit the whole scope of the whole game.
Wow. Okay. So purposely prepared to persevere. That's a mouth one for you. And then is it this?
The second one, Collections of Reflections. That's a poetry book, and that's a book where I'm just kind of giving my eye view of the world and just talking about situation with the hip-hop feel, with a poetic take on a lot of the issues and things in the community and the world.
Wow. And how old are you, Daddy?
I'm 29.
29. Okay. So rather young, but has a fresh perspective and things that went through in his life. So then the last one we have is
Econ the Icon. That's my most controversial book, from pop culture to President Barack Obama. People say, Econ the Icon, how are you calling yourself an icon? That book has nothing to do with me. That book is redefining what it means to be an icon in a celebrity-driven culture. We got reality TV shows all over the place, but really it's a false sense of reality.
okay.
Because it sheds light on so much material things. Whether I got Prada or not, I still gotta know who I am. Whether I have a Benz or a few friends, I still gotta know who I am. And what I have is not what I am is not based on what I have. Because if I lose it all and I lose myself in it, who am I? You gotta know who you are, whether you have $1 million or whether you got 50 million or $50 and 50 cents in your pocket. You still gotta know who you are.
You know what, Eddie? I want to stop you right there because I think that topic right there is something that, you know, in our culture, in our society, a lot of men, you know, maybe men and women, but really men, are dealing with issues of just, you know, having worth that's based on, you know, what kind of car you drive, you know, how cute is your girl or your wife, what kind of Rolex you got on. I mean, that is, I don't know, I was reading Steve Harvey's book, and he talked a lot about how males place value on what they have first. Because of women, Jay says? Because of women? We caused it?
Well, the thing is that because we have a lot of women that look at a man and equate him based on that value. He got
I mean, you can think about it, the male and the female perspective. The women are dressing to impress the men with their bodies, and the men are trying to parade with their money. And so at the end of the day, she says he only wanted me for my body. And she says, and he says she only wanted me for my money, but that's all you showed.
That's not true. We dress cute because we want to dress cute. Because we want to look cute.
If a lot of people do that, but if that's all you show, that's all somebody's gonna come after.
That's a different topic.
Look, we already got controversial on the econ.
That's why you gotta.
That's what it's about. So how can people link up with you if they want to find out more about, you know, your story and what you're sharing here in these books? Well, of course, I'm here in the Metro Detroit area, but of course, you can hit up my website, eddieconnor.com. That's EDDIECONNOR.com. I'm on Twitter at Eddie Connor Jr., Facebook, Eddie Connor Jr. No way you can go to my website and not be inspired. It's inspirational, but it's relevant. And so that's what we have to do here in this city. In order for changes to take place, we're going to have to change our mindset. We might be down, but we're not out. And it's kind of like just a metaphor with the basketball. The basketball can be thrown so hard down. But if you can bounce back up again. Y'all listening to me out there? Yeah.
we can bounce back from the situation. In spite of what we're facing, in spite of the job loss, in spite of what it looks like, we can still bounce back with the situation because we still have our mindset. I might lose everything around me, but as long as I can hold on to my mindset and have the ingenuity, have the inspiration, have the determination, have that ingenuity, as you all took a limb, took a step to start Good News Banter, in spite of all the bad and the negativity that's going on.
Right.
To still have that mindset, to stay, I'm focused, I'm determined, and I will be successful because I have my mindset and I'm going to move myself to the next level.
Well, all right.
So right before we
words from Pastor Eddie, I feel it. Look.
Right before
he got the word rhyming. I feel it.
Yeah, right before we close out, I wish you were here last week for our show. We had how old was she?
7 years old.
I mean, she had some ailments, but she was just like, she told her mom, like, she's determined, like, she don't have no ailments. Like, I'm not going to let that defeat me. And so that's the message we have for you guys today on the Good News Banter Show. No matter what, always, like,
persevere.
Purposely prepared to persevere. So, guys, thank Eddie Connor for coming out to the show.
Thank you so much, Mr. Connor, for coming on to the show. We appreciate you. We're glad that you are here with us. And also, we thank everybody out there for listening to us and listening to the Good News in Detroit. We're here every week, 6:30. And remember that feel-good quote and that feel-good song of the week. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.